Hi there, Martin here, and welcome to this second in a trilogy of short videos all about mentoring in recognition of International Mentoring Day. So in the first video, if you haven't checked it out, go check it out now. We explored what was a mentor and what was the benefit of having a mentor. In a quick nutshell, as a recap, a mentor is someone who, if you want to improve something, change something, overcome something, achieve something, a mentor is somebody who's been where you are now. And they are either 3 steps, 5 steps, 10 steps ahead of where you are right now, or they've ultimately achieved that goal, that vision that you have, the thing that you want to improve, change, overcome, or achieve. They've been on that journey already, and they are willing to share with you what worked. And the beautiful thing about mentors is, they could have spent not just days or hours. We're talking about weeks, months, years, even decades figuring this stuff out, and they're able to distill all of that into hours for you with only the stuff that works. So you can achieve or overcome, change, improve a lot quicker, but also with less pain and suffering and heartache and trial and error and frustration and risk of giving up. So massive benefit. And now that we kind of know what that is, and I encourage you to share what sort of areas in your life might you want to improve, change, overcome, or achieve, where a mentor might well be able to help you. Well, in this video, what I'd like to encourage you to do is reflect on your journey, your experience. Because I get it, not everybody wants to be a mentor. But what I want to encourage you to think about is that we all have experience. We all have life experience. We've all been through stuff. We've all overcome things. We've all improved or changed or achieved something. We all have a skill of some description. And these nuggets that we've had through our journey could be priceless for somebody else, because they're where you used to be. So again, bringing this to life, this could be any area of your life, personal, professional. So, maybe it might be a skill that you have. Maybe you're really good at knitting. You figured out how to knit or crochet, or you're really good with art. You might even be good with music or making clothes. Or it could be that you figured out a sort of eating pattern and what to eat for certain, maybe you've got certain intolerances, and over trial and error and pain and suffering, literally, you figured out something that really works for you. Or maybe you figured out that you only got 5 minutes spare in a day, but you've got that ultimate workout that you do that really lights you up and gives you lots of energy in the morning. Or maybe it's something in your business where you've really looked at email marketing, for example, and you've really made some progress there, and you've got some good learning there that's really working. Or maybe it's you overcame your fear of being on video, and now you're on social media. Could be something like that. You took your business to the next level. You started a new business, and all the pain and suffering and the doubt and the self-confidence that takes a hit when you're trying to do all of that. Maybe you've got an idea of what that is. Maybe you were in that relationship that didn't have a spark, but then you did 1, 2, 3 things that all of a sudden they lit that spark. Maybe it's something that could help. Maybe you've got some kind of, or had some kind of illness or condition that you've worked really hard. Again, trial, error, pain, suffering, time, energy, money. And you've figured some stuff out of how you overcome that. And actually now you're like, oh, if only I had done this, this, and this to begin with. I wish I'd known that at the start, because that would have saved me a lot of time. Or if it's a new skill or whatever, all those things, examples I've given, it's like, if only I knew at the start, if I had just known I should have started with this, this, and this, without the shiny object syndrome, without getting distracted, without all the trial and error of all this other stuff that actually in the end didn't work. It sounded good, but it doesn't. If only I'd started with these 3 things, man, that would have made it a lot quicker and a lot easier. So what in your life have you got? What have you learned during your experience? Maybe you've been through a life experience. It may have been, you know, a breakup or a divorce, or like I said in the previous video, it could be that you were a carer for somebody else because somebody else got ill. There are changes in a family dynamic. There are changes in business and partnerships. And what experience have you got that when you just step back, just take a step back and you go, man, if somebody is where I used to be a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I know how they feel. I know the doubt that they've got. I know the self-belief that they don't have. I know their confidence takes a hit. I know all the questions they've got. I know they're sat there going, I want to improve this. I want to change this. I want to overcome this. I want to achieve this, but I have no idea how. And you know that if you get stuck in that, how do I do it for too long, you don't take any action and it takes you even longer. You know how this feels. So I'm encouraging you to just reflect on, what do you know? What's your life experience? And again, because if you do this, you'll start writing things out and you go, oh my God, I could do this and this and this and this. Great, right? Just write it all out. And then maybe just pick one and go, wow, that's something I'm really passionate about. And that I can really see would make a big difference to somebody else. And, you know, let's be honest, we're here to make a difference in the world, right? We all want to make a difference. And the ripples that difference then makes. Step back and have a think about something that you could help somebody else with. And what I would encourage you to do, just taking it to the next step, just pushing it a little bit. It's like when you've got that thing, break it down into 3. I'm a big fan of the power of 3. It's like, okay, this thing that I improved, I changed, I overcome, I achieved. What were 3 to 5 things, maybe? Let's just stick with 3. What are 3 things that what are the 3 steps that they could take? You go, well, actually, when I think about it, yeah, if we started with this step, and then this step, and this step, and this comes down to, you know, being a mentor and the value of a mentor, because sometimes it's not just about, right, this, and this kind of menu of choices for somebody to do. Sometimes it's like that, but very often it's the order in which you do it is so important. There's stuff that I mentor when it comes to work, for example. A lot of the people that I work with, they want the strategy of how to manage their work better. And a secret between you and I don't want them to manage their work better. I want them to lead their work. Managers just do this. You know, jigsaw puzzles all over the place and they're just moving things. I don't want you to be a manager. I want you to be a leader, to go, that's the thing. That's the thing I need to focus on. But in order to do that, you need some strategies in place. They want that. But what I know is that's great stuff. But if you're thinking about work in a certain way and your role at work in a certain way, if you think you're there to do everything on a never-ending to-do list and your only strategy is to work harder and longer to get through it, I know that all the tools and the strategies in the world, the best in the world, so I've gone off and spent time with the best in the world to figure out what they are, they won't use them because their mindset isn't ready. They're still in the mode of, I need to get everything done on this never-ending to-do list, and I will work long and hard until it's done. So when this really useful strategy comes along, they go, I haven't got time for that. So sometimes it's about knowing the order in which to do things. So again, reflect on your journey. For me, it was mindset, workload, time, habits. Get your head straight on how you look at work slightly differently, and your role at work slightly differently, which leads you to then ask better questions of the workload, which leads you to then want to make sure that you focus your time to get that done. And then you build the habits on a daily basis to actually do that consistently. I had a 4-step process, and I round it off with the number 5, which is the compound effect of doing all those things is bigger than the sum of the parts. So again, for you, just reflect. I know I've just given you, throwing a number at you, 4 things and 5 things for you to start, because I started with 3. Just reflect on what it is that you could do, what you could share with somebody, and go, it's three steps. And when you've got those 3 steps, go into a little bit more detail, and under each one, have another 3 steps to go, well, yeah, this is step 1. And in order to do step 1, you would do this, this, and this. You do that for 3 steps, all of a sudden, you've got the makings of, you know, not just a mentorship, not being able to just mentor somebody, but you've got the bare bones of a PDF, an ebook, a program, a course, a workshop, a live, a coaching program. And again, I don't want to overwhelm you with all these things, but it's just giving you a heads up that when you step back and go, I can use my own experience, I can break it down into some really simple steps for somebody else who's going through that pain and suffering that I went through. It's like, man, that is invaluable. And you can scale that up. The ability for you to then make a difference is massive. And there are 2 things on this. You know, the world right now, financially, really tricky, really difficult. And people are focusing on cutting back, where the real opportunity is investing. The real opportunity is going, what do I already know? And this could be part of your business already, that you then go, actually, there's some stuff here that we're not sharing, I'm not sharing. I could mentor somebody on this. Or it could be something you set up separately to have a side income. There are different ways, or you just do it for fun, because you want to make a difference, you just want to get out there. During these economic times, there are opportunities, and this kind of sharing your own knowledge, one thing that I've found is that it raises your confidence like nothing else. Like nothing else. Because nobody can doubt your experience. How you felt, and your journey, and what you did, and the outcome that you ultimately got, whether it was because you improved, changed, overcame, or achieved something. No one can doubt that. No one can question that. Nobody can challenge that. You can't not feel good enough about that, because it's you and you've done it. It comes from here, and it is such an empowering thing. So when you then tap into that, you feel really confident, and then it's just about, well, what are the steps? How do I break that down? How could I share that with somebody else? And my final kind of thoughts on this is something that I believe with every fiber of my body, in that if we have knowledge, experience, skills that can help somebody else not suffer, not be in pain, overcome that, not spend so much time languishing. If we've got something that could help somebody, I believe with every fiber in my body that we have an ethical and moral obligation to share it. You know, we're human beings, we're the human race, and our purpose is to get out there and help and support each other. And if we know something, why would we hold it to ourselves? Why would we keep it to ourselves when somebody else is struggling, when somebody else is in pain, or somebody else just doesn't have the life they want and they're feeling lost? And if we've got some answers, just some simple answers that can get them 3 steps ahead of where they're at right now, it's priceless, it's invaluable. And, you know, just like that ethical and moral obligation to share it. So this is what I wanted to talk about in this one. Just encourage you to think about your life journey. And why not, you know, when you've given that some thought, why not share it in the comments? Share in the comments an area of life where you think, you know what, I do have some great experience here. And I can see that somebody would be in pain and suffering, and I know what it feels like in that moment. And, you know, maybe I don't have all the answers, but man, I could get them from here to here. And I know I felt a hell of a lot better when I was here rather than when I started. So maybe there's something there. Share below an area where you think you could add some value, where you could help somebody. And you're not putting your hand up going, hey, I'm going to be a mentor. That's not what it is. It's just getting you thinking, getting it, sharing. And you may well come across other people to go, oh, I've been through that too. And then you might have other people that go, man, I'm where you used to be. Do you have any tips? So I encourage you to give this some thought. It's one of the most rewarding things, hand on heart, one of the most rewarding things you can do in terms of helping others like this with your personal lived experience. Share it below and then join me for the final video in this short trilogy, video number 3, where I will bring to life some of the areas that I mentor on. And this will help you with what you're thinking. And maybe if you're thinking, well, maybe I could do this, it'll bring things to life a little bit more so that it'll help you with your thinking. But maybe, you never know, you or somebody you know may be where I was and may need some support. And now understanding mentoring, it's like, oh, I get it. I understand why I might speak to Martin or might speak to another person to get their help. So join me for the final video where we'll bring it all together. Hope you found this useful. Can't wait to hear your reflections in the comments. And thanks for watching. See you in the next video.